The movie begins by showing the underwater kingdom, where the king of fish, adorned with a magical ring, carries on his quest. He continues alongside a spy tasked with finding the fish that he wishes to marry. However, the spy admits that he doesn't know the fish's location, angering King Baima al-Dakhda, who embarks on a journey through rivers, tables, and ponds in search of her. Eventually, he encounters a daughter from a Russian village, where we notice the blind blacksmith, Haddad, and his healthy son, Evin. Evin is kind-hearted but somewhat naive. When a man steals from his father's house, Haddad insists that Evin must learn his craft, and Evin agrees to work alongside his father. They venture into the forest, where they encounter a frozen river. Evin begins to cut through the ice when suddenly bubbles rise from the water. In a moment of surprise, Evin discovers a fish in the ice bucket. The fish speaks, asking Evin to return it to the river in exchange for 3 wishes. Overwhelmed with excitement, Evin begins to ponder what to wish for. He first wishes to see the entire city, and in an instant his house rises into the air, granting him his first wish. Evin, still in awe, makes a second wish: safety for his father and the blacksmith's workshop. The fish grants this wish, and the once wintry scene transforms into spring, revealing a lush garden. As Evin reflects on his wishes, he realizes the importance of more significant desires. The fish explains that each person's wishes are shaped by their desires and dreams. Soon, thieves attack Evin, but he escapes with the fish's help. He decides to return the fish to the river, asking it to keep him safe from further danger. Just then, a mysterious girl named Yana arrives and assists Evin in freeing the fish. She bears a strange fish-like mark on her shoulder, revealing her true nature. Yana, who had once been the fish, now stands before him in human form. She introduces herself as Yana and assures Evin that her presence is not coincidental. Yana and Evin discuss his third wish, to marry a girl from the Russian royal family, Princess Nancy. They decide to join forces in achieving this goal. Meanwhile, in the royal palace, Princess Nancy eagerly anticipates an arranged marriage to an English ambassador. However, King Yar strongly dislikes the British and refuses to approve the match. When the ambassador presents the king with a mysterious musical device, it is revealed that the music can mesmerize people, making them dance uncontrollably. The king is wary of this device, but Princess Nancy is enchanted by the idea of marrying the Englishman. As the tension rises, Evin and Yana arrive at the palace, and the ambassador plays the music for the king. Despite the ambassador's insistence, the king is unconvinced. He demands that Evin, in his humble state, take the lead and attempt to negotiate with the ambassador. The king agrees to help Evin prepare for the mission, providing him with new clothes, as he had been wearing worn-out shoes. Before leaving, Yana warns Evin that retrieving the musical device is no easy task. It is located in a dark forest, where only the bravest dare to venture. Evin and Yana embark on their journey, navigating through treacherous paths in the forest. They finally reach their destination, where Yana tells Evin that he must face the creature guarding the device alone. As Evin enters the dark woods, he encounters strange skeletal structures, which signal the presence of the creature. Suddenly, he hears its voice, and it offers him a choice: hear a joyful melody or a sad one. Evin chooses the sad melody, understanding the potential dangers and consequences. The creature warns him that he must remain in control of his emotions, or risk being overtaken by the music's power. Evin chose the sad melody, and surprisingly, it had no effect on him. He seemed to sing along with the song, which astounded the creature. It had never encountered anyone unaffected by the music. Evin explained that his mother used to sing this song to him when he was a child, which is why he recognized it. The creature, now defeated in their challenge, admitted that it would die from hunger if it were not fed. Evin offered some food from his bag, much to the creature's delight. Although grateful, the creature still refused to accept Evin's offer, choosing instead to walk alongside him, and declared, "Consider me a friend." Meanwhile, near the river, Yana was sitting when a frog arrived carrying a message from the king. The frog conveyed that the king wanted Yana to come immediately to marry him. Yana refused, telling the frog that she would never marry the king. Evan, who had just arrived, overheard the conversation between Yana and the frog. Yana asked him if he had learned the truth about the magical music, and Evan nodded, understanding its power. After a brief conversation, Evan and Yana decided to return, and on their journey back, Evan realized that Yana didn't love the king. She had been avoiding him all along. The scene shifts to the king's palace, where the English ambassador has now disguised himself as the ambassador of Italy. He tries to persuade the king to allow him to marry Princess Nancy. Nancy, delighted by the disguise, agrees with the ambassador's proposal, but before anything could happen, Evan intervenes. The ambassador uses the magical music, and as the melody plays, everyone in the royal court begins to dance uncontrollably. The king is initially upset, but after seeing the power of the music, he agrees to fulfill his promise to Evan. The king agrees that if Evan can prove himself further, he will allow the marriage between Nancy and the ambassador. Evan suggests a task to prove his worth. He asks for the magical mattress that can automatically cut vegetables and juice fruits. The king, intrigued by the idea, agrees to this challenge. Evan sets out with Yana in search of the mattress. Yana explains that the mattress is in the possession of two brothers who live in a remote area. These brothers, once hard-working, have become lazy over the years because of the comfort the mattress provides them. Evan and Yana journey through the forest and arrive at an elderly couple's house. Despite their poverty, the couple is filled with love for each other. They speak of their dreams and the beauty of life. Eventually, they reach the mountainous region where they encounter the two brothers. The brothers, sitting between high rocks, look worn down and unhappy. Evan approaches them and asks for the mattress. The brothers, initially reluctant, become angry and strike Evan with a coconut. Yana quickly helps him, and the brothers, seeing their own laziness reflected in the water, are deeply ashamed. They beg Yana for a solution to their problems. She advises them to give up the mattress, start working for themselves, and abandon their lazy ways. The brothers agree, and Yana takes the mattress, continuing her journey with Evan. As they move forward, Evan regains consciousness and is thrilled to have found the mattress. He believes that it will help him win Princess Nancy's hand. However, Yana reveals the truth. Nancy never wanted to marry Evan. She had only given him the task to rid herself of him. Evan, though hurt, refuses to believe it. Yana, who has developed feelings for him, decides to reveal her true emotions at this point. Back in the palace, Princess Nancy and the ambassador celebrate, assuming Evan will never return. But Evan triumphantly returns, greeted by the cheers of the kingdom's residents. The king, impressed by Evan's bravery and popularity, tells his daughter that she can see how much the people admire him. This realization angers Nancy, who had hoped to marry the ambassador instead. She returns to the store, calling upon her mother's evil spirit once again to devise a new plan to escape the marriage to Evan. Her mother's spirit gives her another dangerous task to present to Evan. The next day, in front of the royal court, Princess Nancy declares that she is ready to marry, but only if she receives her mother's blessing. To obtain this blessing, Evan must venture into the dark world to retrieve something. The king, hearing this, understands that his daughter has set an impossible task for Evan, knowing that the challenge is insurmountable. To avoid the impossible task of entering the dark world and returning from it, Evan and the king felt frustration and doubt. However, Evan, determined to face the challenge, set out, warned by Yana, who understood the dangerous nature of the task. Entering the dark world was like stepping into death itself, a world where communication was a mystery. Despite his uncertainty, Evan decided to journey alone. The path led him through a dark forest and a black river shrouded in mist, fraught with peril. Before embarking, Evan visited his blind father, unsure if he would ever return. His father, saddened by his son's absence, expressed his sorrow, having not heard from him in days. Evan, deeply moved, apologized to his father and asked for his blessing to go on the journey. Before leaving, Evan made a final request, to heal his father's blindness. Miraculously, his father's sight was restored, and he resumed his work as a blacksmith. Evan and Yana continued their journey, reaching the Black River, where Yana believed Evan had completed 3 of his desires. Yet, feeling that he shouldn't burden Yana further, Evan decided to continue alone. He handed her a scarf, symbolizing their bond, but Yana insisted that their connection, like a thread, would never be severed. She promised to be with him through the trials ahead, and after some hesitation, Evan agreed that they would continue together. As they travelled on the river, they saw statues of death everywhere. Their boat came to a halt, and they were met by the world's guardian. The guardian, surprised by their arrival, revealed that Yana was his daughter and explained her purpose in this world. The guardian shared the story of the evil queen, a tyrant who married for power and tormented the people. The queen's soul was trapped in this world, controlled by an eternal hunger. Evan and Yana witnessed the queen's soul and were initially reluctant to agree to the task that would release her. However, when Yana's father appeared, he offered the queen food, explaining that her torment would end only if she agreed to release the soul. Back at the king's palace, Princess Nancy and the ambassador celebrated, unaware that Evan had completed the impossible task. Yana thanked her father, and they returned to the boat to head back. Along the way, Evan confessed that the journey had been the hardest task of all. Yana, despite her unspoken love, decided to part ways with him, asking him to forget her. She believed Nancy would marry the ambassador, but Evan assured her he would never forget her. When they returned to the palace, Nancy, consumed by anger and jealousy, consulted her mother's spirit. The spirit revealed a secret. Evan had not completed the journey alone. He had been aided by a magic fish. In their kingdom, the use of magic was punishable by death. When Nancy learned of this, she ordered Evan's arrest. Evan, stunned, realized that the very magic that helped him had now put him in danger. The following day he was blindfolded, awaiting execution. In exchange for his life, Yana offered to trade the magical fish. Nancy, moved by the gesture, reluctantly accepted the deal, and Evan's life was spared. However, the magic soon took hold of Nancy, and she declared herself queen, imprisoning her father to seize control of the kingdom. The English ambassador, who had once courted Nancy, now sought her hand in marriage. But Nancy's deceit had been uncovered, and the people no longer trusted her. Evan, now free, returned home, reuniting with his father and brother. Together they broke into the palace, determined to liberate Yana. When Evan confronted Nancy, he demanded that she release Yana. He threatened to bring down the kingdom if she didn't comply. In an unexpected turn, Nancy attempted to use magic to stop him, but she failed. It was revealed that magic could not be used for personal gain, and Nancy, in her desperation, transformed into a fish. The king, confused, chose Yana over Nancy, and in an act of redemption, he married Yana, taking her beneath the waves. With the kingdom freed from tyranny, celebrations ensued. Evan and Yana, finally acknowledging their love for each other, decided to live together forever. Their bond, like the needle and thread, was unbreakable. The story of their adventure, filled with magic, challenges, and love, concluded. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next story.